Living with joint pain changes everything. What used to be a simple walk to the mailbox now feels like a challenge. Getting out of bed in the morning is met with stiffness. Bending down to tie your shoes, it's no longer just a task, it's a test of endurance. And for many seniors, this isn't just about discomfort, it's about freedom. The freedom to move, the freedom to live without relying on a drawer full of pills. I'm Dr. William Carter, and after more than 2 decades working with older adults, I can tell you this: most joint pain doesn't start in your bones. It starts with chronic inflammation. And here's the part most people don't know. Some of the most powerful anti-inflammatory tools don't come from prescriptions, they come from food. More specifically, from the right kind of plant-based protein. Today, I'm going to show you 3 affordable, accessible, and science-backed plant proteins that can help reduce joint pain, rebuild strength, and support your body naturally. These foods don't just fill your plate, they actively help soothe inflammation, protect cartilage, and support the muscles and tissues around your joints. So if you've been told that pain is just part of aging, I'm here to tell you something different. You have options, you have tools, and it all starts with what's on your plate. Let's begin. Let's start with a food that might surprise you. It's small, inexpensive, and often overlooked, but it's one of the most powerful tools we have when it comes to joint health. I'm talking about lentils. Lentils may not have the spotlight in modern diets. They're not flashy, they're not trending on social media, and they don't come with shiny packaging or bold health claims. But for seniors living with arthritis, stiffness, or chronic joint pain, lentils offer exactly what your body is silently begging for. You've probably been told that protein is important, and that's true. Protein is the raw material your body uses to build and repair tissues, including the muscles that surround your joints. But here's the catch: not all proteins are created equal. Animal-based proteins like red meat may deliver muscle-building benefits, but they also come with pro-inflammatory compounds like saturated fat and advanced glycation end products that can actually worsen joint inflammation. This is where lentils shine. Lentils deliver plant-based protein that supports tissue repair without triggering inflammation. Just 1 cup of cooked lentils offers about 18 grams of protein, enough to support your muscles, joints, and connective tissue, especially when consumed regularly. This helps relieve the burden placed on your joints. When muscles are strong and supple, your joints don't have to carry the entire load. That means less wear and tear and less pain. Now let's talk about magnesium, one of the most critical and underrated minerals for seniors with joint pain. Think of magnesium as your body's natural muscle relaxer. It helps regulate nerve impulses, reduces muscle tension, and plays a vital role in managing inflammation. If you've ever woken up with tightness in your knees, your back, or your hands, that doesn't seem to go away with stretching, there's a good chance magnesium deficiency is contributing. Lentils are rich in this essential mineral. 1 cup provides nearly 15% of your daily magnesium needs, and when consumed with other magnesium-rich foods, it becomes a powerful anti-stiffness strategy. Sufficient magnesium not only eases muscle tension, it also helps reduce the low-grade inflammation that often fuels arthritis. You may not immediately link potassium with joint health, but here's why you should. Potassium helps your body flush out excess sodium, which is a major driver of fluid retention, bloating, and joint swelling. If your knees, fingers, or ankles tend to feel puffy, tight, or inflamed, sodium may be part of the problem. And lentils, they deliver potassium in abundance, helping you re-establish balance, remove excess fluids, and reduce the pressure inside inflamed joints. This makes them an excellent choice for seniors who feel heavy or tight in their joints, especially after salty meals or long periods of inactivity. Now here's something most people don't realize. Unstable blood sugar levels can fuel inflammation. When your blood sugar spikes, especially after eating refined carbs or sugary foods, your body releases pro-inflammatory substances. Over time, this repeated inflammatory response worsens joint pain, stiffness, and cartilage breakdown. But lentils are packed with soluble fiber, which slows the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream. This helps maintain stable blood sugar, which in turn helps lower inflammation levels throughout your body, including your joints. One study published in the journal Nutrients found that diets rich in fiber significantly reduced markers of inflammation like C-reactive protein, even in older adults with arthritis. So by eating lentils, you're not just fueling your body, you're calming it. Here's a detail most arthritis patients never hear about. There's a compound in your blood called When it builds up, which often happens with age, it contributes to systemic inflammation, particularly in joints and connective tissue. Elevated homocysteine levels are associated with increased joint degeneration, higher pain sensitivity, and slower tissue repair. Now, how do we fight it? With folate, also known as vitamin B9, and lentils. They're one of the richest natural sources of folate in the entire plant kingdom. 1 cup of cooked lentils provides nearly 90% of your daily folate needs, helping reduce homocysteine levels and lower inflammatory markers over time. You don't have to become a gourmet chef to start feeling the benefits of lentils. Here are simple, joint-friendly ways to use them. Add half a cup of cooked lentils to any vegetable soup for texture and protein. Mix cooked lentils with garlic, turmeric, onions, and coconut milk for a powerful anti-inflammatory meal. Combine with chopped tomatoes, cucumbers, parsley, and a squeeze of lemon. Use lentils instead of ground beef in tacos, lasagnas, or veggie burgers. And here's the beauty. Lentils don't require soaking overnight. They cook in 20 to 30 minutes, are easy to digest, and store well for meal prep. While lentils are incredibly safe, here are a few tips. If you have kidney disease, talk to your doctor about protein intake. If you experience bloating, start with small portions and combine with carminative herbs like cumin or ginger to maximize anti-inflammatory effects. Pair lentils with turmeric and black pepper, leafy greens, or olive oil. Small, unassuming, and affordable, lentils are more than just a meat substitute. They're a joint-protecting powerhouse, offering protein, fiber, minerals, and anti-inflammatory compounds all in one humble package. And when you start adding them to your weekly meals, you may just notice something unexpected: less stiffness, less swelling, and more freedom to move. Now, let's move on to the next plant-powered food that's just as impressive and just as overlooked. Now, let's talk about one of the most underestimated yet incredibly powerful foods when it comes to joint relief: chickpeas. You might know them as the base of hummus, or those little round beans tucked into a salad or a soup. But what many people don't realize is that chickpeas are far more than a simple side dish. For seniors struggling with arthritis, stiffness, or swelling, chickpeas can quietly deliver relief in ways that very few foods can. Let's start with the protein. Just like lentils, chickpeas are a fantastic source of plant-based protein. This matters a lot, especially if you're trying to reduce red meat because of its inflammatory effects. Chickpeas offer a gentler, cleaner source of protein that still helps maintain and rebuild muscle. And remember, your joints are supported by your muscles. The stronger your muscles are, the less pressure they place on your joints. So, by eating chickpeas, you're giving your joints backup support, less strain, less tension, and ultimately, less pain. But the real magic of chickpeas goes beyond protein. They're packed with compounds called polyphenols. Now, polyphenols may sound technical, but think of them as the body's natural defenders. They fight off harmful molecules called free radicals, unstable agents that contribute to cellular damage and chronic inflammation. In the context of arthritis, free radicals accelerate joint degeneration and make the pain worse over time. Polyphenols act like shields. Every time you eat chickpeas, you're sending reinforcements to protect your joints at the cellular level. And then there's vitamin C. You've probably heard of it in the context of immune support. But vitamin C also plays a critical role in collagen production. Collagen is the connective tissue that cushions your joints, helping them move smoothly and pain-free. As we age, collagen production declines, leading to creakiness, stiffness, and vulnerability. Chickpeas help replenish the vitamin C your body needs to keep collagen levels up. That means you're not just masking pain, you're supporting the very structure that keeps your joints moving comfortably. Let's also talk about magnesium again. Yes, chickpeas are a rich source, and if you've been living with tight, overworked muscles, magnesium is exactly what your body needs. It helps calm the nervous system, relax muscles, and reduce the burden placed on inflamed joints. Magnesium also improves sleep, and if you've ever tossed and turned at night because of joint pain, then you know how valuable that truly is. Better sleep allows your body to heal, and when your muscles are relaxed, your joints finally get a break. Another overlooked benefit of chickpeas is their fiber, not just for digestion, but for controlling inflammation. When your blood sugar spikes, your body responds with inflammatory chemicals. This leads to more swelling, more stiffness, and more joint discomfort. Chickpeas help regulate that. Their high fiber content slows the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream, keeping things balanced and preventing those inflammatory surges. And when inflammation stays low, joints move freely. The pain doesn't have to take over. Now, let's get practical. Chickpeas are remarkably versatile. Most people know them as hummus, and that's a great start. But they can do so much more. You can roast them with olive oil and spices for a crunchy snack, far healthier than processed chips. You can toss them into a salad, stew, or you can add them to curries, mash them into veggie burgers, or mix them into grain bowls with quinoa, spinach, or avocado. Their mild flavor means they'll take on whatever seasoning you give them. Lemon, garlic, paprika, turmeric. The combinations are endless. And if you're into baking, chickpeas can surprise you there too. Chickpea flour is a fantastic gluten-free alternative that works beautifully in pancakes, muffins, and breads. You can even blend cooked chickpeas into dessert batters to add moisture, fiber, and protein without sacrificing taste. For seniors managing arthritis, there's one more reason to love chickpeas. They're affordable. You don't need a specialty health store. You can buy them canned, dry, or frozen in almost any grocery store. If you go the canned route, just rinse them well to remove extra sodium. If you prefer dry, they're even more cost-effective and easy to prepare in batch. How often should you eat chickpeas? Ideally, try to include them in your meals at least 2 to 3 times a week. Some people eat them daily, and that's perfectly fine, as long as your body responds well. The more consistently you consume chickpeas, the more cumulative the benefits become. Your joints appreciate regular support, your muscles, your blood vessels, even your digestion all work better when you feed your body what it needs consistently, not occasionally. Let's also talk about weight management. Many seniors with arthritis struggle with extra weight, which adds pressure to already inflamed joints. Chickpeas, being high in fiber and protein, help you feel full longer. They reduce unnecessary snacking and help regulate appetite. This simple mechanism makes it easier to maintain a healthy weight, easing the burden on the knees, hips, and spine. And if you're concerned about gas or bloating, that's understandable. Chickpeas are high in fiber, and if your digestive system isn't used to that, you may feel discomfort at first. His solution is to start small. Begin with a few tablespoons, pair them with carminative herbs like cumin, ginger, or fennel, and gradually increase your intake as your body adjusts. Let's not forget, chickpeas are more than just a trendy food. They are a functional tool for healing. They're small, humble, and accessible, but what they deliver is extraordinary. Every serving offers a package of anti-inflammatory support, protein for muscle repair, polyphenols to protect your cells, vitamin C for collagen, magnesium for relaxation, and fiber for blood sugar control. When arthritis makes you feel like everything is working against you, when it hurts just to open a jar or walk up the stairs, these small choices add up. A bowl of chickpeas isn't just lunch, it's a way to take back control. It's a quiet act of healing that starts from the inside out. So next time you're planning your meals or walking down the grocery aisle, don't walk past the chickpeas. Grab a can. Try a new recipe. Add a few spoonfuls to your dinner. Your joints will thank you. Your digestion will thank you. And in a matter of weeks, you may start to feel just a little more like yourself again. Now, let's move on to the third and final plant protein that deserves a spot on your plate. And it's one that many seniors have never considered. Now, let's move on to the third and final plant-based protein in this series. One that's often misunderstood, sometimes avoided, but incredibly valuable, especially for seniors living with chronic joint pain. I'm talking about tofu. For some people, tofu brings up mixed feelings. Maybe you've tried it before and weren't impressed by the taste. Or maybe you've seen it in recipes and felt unsure about how to prepare it. But if you're dealing with arthritis, stiffness, or inflammation, I want you to take another look, because tofu might just become one of the most important foods in your joint healing toolkit. First, let's talk about what tofu really is. It's made from soybeans, which means it's one of the few plant-based foods that contain all 9 essential amino acids. In other words, it's a complete protein, just like meat, fish, or eggs, but without the inflammatory compounds that often come with those animal products. That's critical when your joints are already inflamed. With tofu, you get the support your body needs to build and maintain muscle without adding fuel to the inflammatory fire. As we age, maintaining muscle mass becomes more important, not just for strength, but for joint support. Strong muscles relieve pressure on the joints. They stabilize your movements. They reduce the friction that leads to pain. Tofu delivers clean, digestible protein that feeds your muscles and supports the tissues around your joints without irritating them further. But protein is just the beginning. Tofu also contains something else your joints love: omega-3 fatty acids. Now, most people associate omega-3 south with fish like salmon or sardines, and that's valid. But tofu offers a plant-based source of these powerful anti-inflammatory fats. Omega-3 south helps regulate the body's inflammatory response. They reduce the production of chemicals like interleukin and tumor necrosis factor, the same compounds found in higher levels among people with arthritis. By including tofu in your diet, you're giving your joints daily reinforcement against swelling, stiffness, and long-term degeneration. Tofu also provides calcium, a nutrient your bones depend on, especially if you're dealing with osteoarthritis or general wear and tear. When your bones are weak, your entire skeletal system becomes unstable. That instability often shows up as joint pain or reduced mobility. Many seniors struggle to get enough calcium because they avoid dairy, and rightly so. Dairy can sometimes trigger inflammation or digestive issues. Tofu offers a gentler, plant-based way to support bone density and protect your joints from the ground up. And here's something many people don't realize. A lot of tofu brands are fortified with vitamin D, the partner nutrient to calcium. Vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium more effectively. It also plays a role in regulating the immune system and reducing inflammation. Low vitamin D is extremely common among older adults. It's linked not only to brittle bones, but also to worsened arthritis symptoms. If you're not spending much time in the sun, and your diet is low in vitamin D, you could be compounding your joint pain without even knowing it. Tofu helps fill that gap in a safe and sustainable way. But perhaps one of the most unique advantages of tofu comes from its natural compounds, called isolate. These are phytonutrients found in soy that mimic certain hormone behaviors in the body, specifically estrogen-like effects. Don't worry, that doesn't mean tofu will disrupt your hormone balance. On the contrary, studies show that isoflavones may help reduce inflammation, improve joint flexibility, and even slow down cartilage breakdown in people with rheumatoid arthritis. In fact, populations that consume more soy tend to report lower levels of joint degeneration, better mobility, and fewer arthritis-related hospitalizations. So if you're wondering whether tofu can actually make a difference, the science is clear. It's not hype. It's nutrition that works at the cellular level to reduce inflammation and support healing. Now, let's talk about preparation. One of the biggest reasons people give up on tofu is because they don't know how to cook it. And that's a shame, because it's one of the most versatile foods you can work with. Think of tofu as a blank canvas. It absorbs the flavor of whatever you pair it with, whether that's garlic, soy sauce, lemon, curry spices, or fresh herbs. You can pan-sear it for a crispy finish, bake it for a firmer texture, grill it, stir-fry it, or blend it into sauces, smoothies, and soups. If you're just getting started, I recommend using extra firm tofu. Press out the water by wrapping it in a clean towel and placing something heavy on top for 20 minutes. Then cut it into cubes and marinate it in your favorite seasoning before cooking. You can toss it into a stir-fry with colorful vegetables, serve it over brown rice or quinoa, or slice it into salads and wraps. If you prefer a softer texture, silken tofu is perfect for blending into creamy sauces, puddings, or even smoothies, giving you protein without even noticing it's there. Tofu is also incredibly affordable and easy to find. Most grocery stores stock several varieties, and it has a long shelf life when unopened. That means you can keep it on hand and incorporate it into meals without stress or planning. And because it's so new, helping reduce cravings for inflammatory snacks. How often should you eat tofu? That depends on your diet and preferences. But for most seniors without a soy allergy, eating tofu 2 to 4 times per week is a great start. Combine it with other anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, turmeric, or omega-3 rich seeds, and you're building meals that don't just taste good, they heal. And if you're worried about digestive discomfort, keep in mind that tofu is generally easy to tolerate. Unlike some beans or legumes, it tends to cause less gas and bloating, making it an ideal protein for people with sensitive stomachs. At the end of the day, arthritis can make you feel powerless, like your body is working against you. But foods like tofu remind us that healing doesn't always come in the form of a pill. Sometimes it comes in something as simple as a bite. Every time you choose tofu over processed meats or inflammatory takeout, you're giving your body a chance to repair itself. You're saying no to pain and yes to function, freedom, and resilience. So if you've overlooked tofu in the past, give it another shot. Try one new recipe. Add it to your weekly rotation. Let your joints feel the difference over time. Because sometimes the most powerful solutions are the ones that have been quietly waiting in your kitchen all along. If you've made it this far, you already understand something most people don't. Joint pain doesn't have to be a life sentence, and relief doesn't always come from a prescription bottle. It can start with a decision. One simple choice at the dinner table, repeated with care and consistency. We've talked about 3 powerful plant-based proteins today. 3 humble, affordable foods that hold extraordinary healing potential. First, lentils. Rich in protein, fiber, magnesium, and folate. They strengthen the muscles that support your joints, regulate blood sugar, flush out excess sodium, and calm the underlying inflammation that makes arthritis worse. They're not just a meat substitute. They're a muscle builder, an anti-inflammatory agent, and a joint protector, all in one. Then we explored chickpea, a quiet, nutritional powerhouse, full of polyphenols to fight oxidative stress, vitamin C to support collagen, magnesium for relaxation, and fiber to reduce blood sugar spikes. Chickpeas don't just fill you up, they protect your joints from the inside out. And finally, tofu, a complete protein with omega-3s, calcium, vitamin D, and isoflavones, all nutrients that work together to reduce inflammation, stabilize the immune response, rebuild cartilage, and support strong bones. Tofu may not be flashy, but it's reliable, flexible, and remarkably effective for seniors looking to reduce joint pain naturally. You don't have to overhaul your life. You don't have to give up everything you enjoy. You don't have to go fully vegan or plant-based unless that works for you. What matters most is that you begin. Add a lentil soup to your week. Make hummus with roasted garlic. Try a tofu stir-fry just once. Observe how your body responds. Not after one meal, but over time. Because healing isn't an overnight process. It's the slow, steady reward of giving your body what it truly needs, one meal at a time. And remember, every food choice is either contributing to inflammation or reducing it. Every bite can be a step toward more freedom, more strength, and more confidence in your body. I've spent years working with patients who felt stuck, frustrated, and ready to give up. But when they began making small nutritional changes, when they gave their joints what they were missing, they started moving again. They started living again. And so can you. If this video helped you understand your body better, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share your experience. Have you tried lentils, chickpeas, or tofu in your meals? What has worked for you? What do you still struggle with? And if you'd like more simple, science-backed strategies to feel stronger, move better, and age with vitality, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. This is just the beginning. I'm Dr. William Carter. Thank you for spending this time with me. Stay strong, stay curious, and never forget, your health is in your hands, and your healing can start today.